What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode, and today we are talking about underrated, powerful sedans that you probably never heard about. This list is going to be cars that are really quick, that are also tunable, that are also not that expensive, that you could take on the streets, pull up on your people, and they'd be like, yo, what's that? I've never seen that before. I never heard that before. You'll see. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Y'all, so welcome to another episode. But before I continue, I just gotta once again plug hoodies. Feel me? We got some hoodies on the site. The loyalty hoodies is out there. We got different hoodies. The 1992 EST hoodies is out there as well. Designs different, however you need it, different colors, whatever you need to do with it. Jump in there, get it. I will have the link in the bio. So if you need some type of stuff for the holidays, you want some new clothing, you want some new styles, jump in, you feel me? Support your boy, support the channel, and let's get into it. But without further ado, let's get back to this list though, you feel me? Number one, that will be a 2016 to 2017 Ford Taurus Show. This comes equipped with a 3.5 liter V6, 365 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 5.2 seconds. So first and foremost, this engine is a twin turbo. So this is actually a very tunable car. The reliability is average. You know, it is a Ford at the end of the day. So it's not gonna still be as expensive as some of the foreign vehicles, but it's still a Ford. So things will go wrong. But if you keep up with your maintenance and you keep up with this car, you're gonna be good. This is a car, all-wheel drive. It's gonna pull. It's gonna pull. It's gonna be quicker than you would expect. It is heavy. It is on the heavier side comparison to, you know, a little smaller, budget-friendly, fast sedan. But it's still gonna do what you need to do. And this is more of that feel. If you want a big body, you see what I'm saying? You got people that you want to drive around, or maybe you know you just had kids and you have a relatively small family, but you want to be able to have enough space for car seats or a lot of luggage, you travel a lot, it's going to be the perfect car for you. Yeah, it does look like a cop car, but you know, you don't got to get it in cop car colors. I mean, you feel me? You could just avoid that. Issues that may arise with this vehicle: oil pan gasket leaks, engine bucks or misfires, idle air bypass valve, the camshaft sensor, headlights not working, or blown head gaskets. So when you're in the market for these, make sure you check to see if any of these issues have been addressed. If they haven't, you already know, put some cash to the side. Make sure you got something to fund that, you feel me? Because you don't want to break down on the side of the road. None of us do. But I do like that choice. I do like that option. And again, enough space for the fam, so you can't beat it. But let's move on. Next on the list, number two. That will be a 2017 to 2020 Lincoln Continental Reserve Black Label all-wheel drive. This comes equipped with a 3-liter V6, 400 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 5.3 seconds. Now, this is also equipped with a twin turbo, tunable. Not the most tunable engine, but it's still tunable. You can still get a little more power out of this. Now, this is definitely a higher class or step above the Ford Taurus. For one, we got 400 horsepower, so we moving already, you feel me? But this is definitely going to be way more luxurious. You already know it's a Lincoln. You can kind of compare it to a Caddy in that sense. The interior of this car is crazy. The things that this car could do, what it's equipped with, crazy. And you do not see a lot of these on the road comparison to that Ford Taurus. Ford Taurus, we done seen all the cop cars, even though they don't drive those anymore like that. Still, this car right here, you're not going to see on the road too often. So this is something off rip you're going to stand out in. And then the people who do see you in this car, they're going to think you in a little V6, you know, something that don't really have that much power. You in a grandpa car, or, you know, the connotations they're going to put with this. It's a Lincoln. Nobody looks at Lincoln to be the sportiest vehicle, the fast vehicle. You pull up in this, whether you pull up in the Reserve or you pull up in the Black Label, they're different. The Black Label has slightly more things, but when I was really pricing them out, the Reserve is going to be the best bang for your buck. You're not really missing too much of anything going with the reserve comparison to the black label, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this car is gonna be able to handle all your needs just like the Ford Taurus. It's big enough to carry the family, to carry whoever you need to carry, and it's gonna look good doing it. This is average reliability to good reliability. So depending on who you getting it from, you might be lucky and really have no issues at all. But if you do have issues, they're gonna be minor, they're not gonna be too serious. Issues that may occur: electrical issues and transmission lag. So these are things that you're gonna face, but as long as you could deal with this or potentially tune it yourself to maybe make the car a little more responsive, you're gonna be happy. The fam gonna be happy. Whoever riding with you gonna be happy. You feel me? Come on, man. Look at the interior. You see what I'm saying? There's not gonna be a time that you sit in this car and be like, damn, why am I in this car? You're gonna enjoy it. Trust. Next on the list, number 3. This is a rare one, y'all. You know what it means when I say that. This is a 2015 to 2019 Infiniti Q70 5.6 or Q70L. This comes equipped with a 5.6 liter V8, 420 horsepower, 417 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 4.9 seconds. So, I gotta be honest with y'all. If you're going for the 5.6, the regular version, Q70, good luck. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Good luck. If you find anybody with a Q70 that's not a long wheelbase, jump in it. Nobody has it. You will not see that on the road. You will not see that on those sites for sale. You won't see that in the mechanic shop neither. Anyone who purchased this car, they still have this car. Why? Because it's reliable, because it does what it needs to do, and it looks good while it's doing it. This car is the big brother of the Q50. And we know how many people jumped in the Q50, tuned it, did everything they needed to do. Now, although it is a different engine, this is still going to be an engine that you don't have to tune too much, because it's already going to have the power. It's already going to have the sound. It already has the look. And it's a little more luxurious inside than the Q50 is. So you're getting a car that technically looks a little better inside and out. You know, it could be subjective. Some people may have a different opinion. Comes with a V8. Now, this is no turbo, NA, but come on, we love the response feel of a non-turbo engine. No turbo lag, you ain't got to worry about that. Now, these engines, they may not be the most tunable, but you might be somebody jumping in this car just because you want something that's muscular. You want something that could just handle what you need to handle when you want it to do. That's going to be this car on the list. And if you got a bigger family or you want a little more space, get the Q70L. Now, there is more Q70Ls for sale than there are just the regular Q70s, but whatever you need to do it. Jump into one of those. You're not going to be upset. 4.9 seconds. Come on. I mean, we still moving. We ain't got no issues. You see what I'm saying? And this is going to have, like I mentioned earlier, good reliability, right? It's going to have good reliability. If I could give you a bone here, I would say just try to avoid the 2015, because the 2015 was the first year where they was trying to get things out the way and figure some stuff out. So if you could avoid the 2015 and just get everything beyond that, you shouldn't have no issues. You should be good, smile on your face every time you get in this car. Why? Because no one has it, for one, and for two, it's just a comfortable ride. It's enjoyable. Issues that may arise in this car is really an unresponsive transmission. I'll be honest, that's all I could really find. Yeah, like nobody has come online and discussed their issues or problems with this car, because there's not many at all. You feel me? And the people who did have issues with this car, most other people didn't have those same issues. So it's just really going to be subjective where you get it from, how the person took care of it prior to you purchasing it. But this is still going to be a great car regardless. It's going to be reliable. This is something that you're going to have for a long time, and it's going to do everything you need it to do comfortably. You feel me? So you can't go wrong with the Q70 or the Q70L. So if you're really in the market looking for something to just stay out the way but have something authentic, jump in one of these. You will not be disappointed. That's a bet. Next on the list, number 4. That would be a 2017 to 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. This comes equipped with a 2.9 liter V6, 505 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 3.8 seconds. Welcome again. Welcome. We dealing with them turbos again, twin turbos on here. You feel me? This is a very underrated car, and it's also a very beautiful car. Personally, this is going to be, looks-wise, my favorite car on this list. This car, just every time I see it, whether it's just a regular Giulia or the Quadrifoglio, this car just looks good. It looks really good at all times. This is going to be a great handling car, one of the best in its class. It's going to be fast. 500 horsepower, come on, man. 0 to 60 under 4 seconds. We really going crazy with this. Now, this is not if you have a big family. If you got a big family, I would not recommend this. This is, I've been in a Giulia before, not a Quadrifoglio, but this by far is the most narrow car that I've ever been in. And that's saying a lot, because I've owned a lot of coupes as well, and this is more narrow than any coupe that I've ever owned. So this is going to be a very narrow car. So if you a big dude, I wouldn't advise it. But other than that, this car is going to be great. Now, reliability, it could be below average. You feel me? It could be not the best, unfortunately. So that is the Achilles heel of this car, but it's not terrible. It's not Maserati. You see what I'm saying? It's not that bad, but it's definitely not that good neither. Costly a little bit, yes. I mean, I will say it is a little more costly than not costly, but the joy you're gonna have driving this car and it being as authentic as it is, where no one else actually has it, that alone is going to be something that drives you to not only want to jump in this car as many times as you can, but just love looking at it in the parking lot or your garage. You see what I'm saying? This is definitely a car that's going to turn heads no matter where you go. And believe it or not, you can get some good deals on these, y'all. You can get some good deals on these. Just make sure you got some money on the side saved up, just in case issues arise. But you're going to be lit with this. I promise you that. Issues that may arise, electrical issues, and the accessory belt. I've seen issues with that, which is also a costly fix. So just be wary of that. But again, this is more of a fashion statement vehicle. This is something that not only you want to make a statement when you pull up, but you also want to have a lot of fun doing it. This by far is going to be the most fun on the list so far, because it's just going to move differently, unlike any other car on this list. So if you in it for the sporty and you want to drive crazy, jump into one of these. Moving on. Number 5. That would be a 2014 to 2017 Chevy SS. This comes equipped with a 6.2 liter V8, 415 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 4.5 seconds. So this car is very rare off rip. No one really has a Chevy SS. Let's just be honest. How often do you see a Chevy SS? Very rarely. Now, there's two sides of this car, right? Because the people who know what it is, they're going to commend you. They're going to dap you up. They're going to be like, yo, man, I see you. Shout out to you. You got good taste. You know what you're doing. And then the other side, people going to be like, you drive a Malibu and you thought that was lit? Why are you driving a Malibu thinking you that guy? You feel me? Like, you have to know what this is. I will say Chevy didn't do the best at making this car look, for example, like the Alpha Quadrifoglio do. You know, they didn't do their best to make it look like a super flagship model. This technically is the Scat Pack for Chevy. If we want to be honest, this is the Scat Pack Chevy. But they just didn't have the marketing behind it, and Dodge was already out running, you feel me, not walking, it was running, killing stuff with their models. So this one kind of went under the radar. Not kind of, it definitely went under the radar. So there wasn't a lot of people that purchased this vehicle, which also led to it having short production years, only from 14 to 17, and after that they was done with it. So this is definitely going to be a car that if you do pull up in this, nobody's going to know what you got until you rev that engine or they hear you pulling up. See what I'm saying? This actually, believe it or not, also has good reliability, and you can get this in an auto or a manual. So this is definitely a car that is just, it it fits a lot of different categories, because if you're somebody who's not a showman, who doesn't like to show off, and you just want to be underrated and have a sleeper, perfect for that. But if you somebody who loves muscle cars, you want to drive fast, perfect for that. If you someone who has a family, perfect for that. It's big enough to accommodate the family, it's fast enough to accommodate your lust for speed, and it's, I would say, not designed so explicitly to a point where you can ride under the radar and people are not going to be hounding you everywhere. Yo, where'd you get that? Why? Only the people who know what it is going to do that. So keep that in mind. Issues that may arise is brakes making sounds, and not necessarily them just going out, but just the sounds of the brakes and the infotainment screen. The whole system with that kind of be laggy, and issues go along with that. So be wary of that. If you're in the market for one of those are cars that's going to hold their value, because they don't make them no more, and they probably never make them again. Not probably, they won't make them again. So that's a car on this list. If you want something that's going to hold its value and have good resale value, get one of these. You will not be disappointed. So that is my top 5 list of the most underrated powerful sedans that you don't know about. But you know how I do. I can't just leave you with 5. I got to give you a bonus. So the bonus of the day would be, you don't know about this, a 2004 to 2006 Volkswagen Phaeton W12. This is equipped with a 6-liter, 444 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 5.7 seconds. That's what we talking. This is a W12, y'all. A W12 in a Volkswagen. It hasn't been done since then, to be fair. And I'm not including Bugattis or nothing like that. We talking strictly Volkswagen, not products made by Volkswagen. This was a great car when it came out initially, but nobody rocked with it because it had a Volkswagen badge. This is, to be honest, a poor man's Bentley. So if you jump into this, back then, that's what your competitor would be. This has features to this day cars do not have. The features in this car are features that cars today still do not have. And we talking 04 to 06. Now, this car has average reliability. The engine is not usually the issue. It's usually the electrical stuff that will, definitely play a part in what you're doing with this car. And especially this car actually does have a specific mechanic that has to work on it. So today, there's probably not many, if any at all, that actually know the ins and outs of this car. So that would definitely be an issue for you going forward. If things popped up, you can't just take this car to a regular Volkswagen dealership. They're going to be like, yo, we can't touch that. We don't know what's going on with that. See what I'm saying? So this is something that if you don't know someone who has insight on this actual vehicle, it's going to be a tough time for ownership. I'll just be honest with you. But if you do, or you have ties to someone else that does, this is going to be something that's going to be a really good car for you. It's super comfortable. Like I said, if everything is working, it does everything pretty much. The features are endless. Issues that you may run into, like I said, it's hard to get any parts, and it's expensive to maintain because it has a W12. So yeah, be wary of that. But this is a car that's just different, y'all. I remember I first seen this car take it back to my childhood. I think it was Midnight Club, I believe it was Midnight Club. I seen this car, definitely a racing game, and I'm like, damn, I never knew Volkswagen did it like that. I never knew they had something like this. But yeah, you can get this car in the V8 as well. The V8 is probably going to be a little easier to deal with, but still, this is not a Volkswagen that the actual dealership Volkswagen usually touches, because they just don't have the equipment and they don't have the knowledge to actually work on this car effectively. That's going to leave you walking out happy like, oh, I got the problem fixed. Nah, it's probably not going to happen like that. So make sure you got a mechanic. Make sure you got somebody on the side that can handle this or help you out with it. But yeah, just like that, that is my list. If I could choose a car on this list, I got 2, right? So it would depend. If I'm going for straight, a reliable, nice, fast car that I want to keep long term, 100% I'm going with the Q70. Straight up, I'm going with the Q70. But if I want something that I really want to have fun with and I just got an unlimited bag and I'm not worried about things going wrong, I'm jumping in that Quadrifoglio. No question. Quadrifoglio is the best looking car on this list by far, in my eyes, from my point of view. So yeah, that's what I would do. But y'all let me know what y'all would do. Get in the comment section below. Once again, if you like this video, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. The comment section, check the description below. I got hoodies, I got sweatsuits, I got everything for y'all. Make sure you check that link in the description. And just like that, I'm out of here. Peace.